The Count of Monte Cristo, Volume 2, by Alexandre Dumas. The Mysterious Island. As the evening sun dipped towards the horizon, bathing the island of Monte Cristo in a warm amber glow, Albert and Franz, clad in their worn leather boots and loose linen shirts, made their way across the rocky shore. Their youthful faces, marked by the sun and sea spray, were alight with the thrill of the unknown. "Albert, look at this place. It's like something out of a legend," Franz exclaimed, his eyes reflecting the fading light as they took in the rugged landscape. Albert, with a mischievous glint in his eye, laughed. "Maybe we'll find a buried treasure, or better yet, a band of pirates waiting to share their loot." Their path soon became treacherous, the ground giving way beneath their feet as they navigated a narrow ledge. Heartbeats quickened, not just from the climb, but from the palpable sense of danger that seemed to emanate from the very earth. Their laughter was abruptly silenced when they stumbled upon a group of rough-looking men, Spanish smugglers and Corsican bandits, arguing heatedly over their spoils. The two friends quickly sought refuge behind a large rock, their breath shallow and rapid. "Franz, I think we've got more adventure than we bargained for," whispered Albert, his voice laced with a mix of fear and excitement. Before Franz could muster a response, a commanding voice resonated from behind them. "Gentlemen, I believe you are on my island." They turned to see a tall, imposing figure stepping out from the shadows. It was the Count of Monte Cristo, known to some as Sinbad the Sailor. His presence was both terrifying and awe-inspiring, his eyes holding stories of 1,000 voyages. "Count, we meant no harm. We were just—" Franz began, but the Count raised a hand to silence him. "I know why you're here. Curiosity can be a dangerous thing," the Count intoned, his voice hinting at a past fraught with peril and betrayal. The smugglers and bandits, recognizing the authority in the Count's stance, quickly dispersed, leaving the two friends alone with the enigmatic nobleman. "Come, I will show you the wonders of this island," the Count offered, leading them to a hidden grotto where the walls shimmered with crystals, the air filled with the scent of the sea, and the faint, earthy aroma of hidden treasures. The sound of dripping water echoed, and the cool touch of stone beneath their fingertips brought the grotto to life. As they explored, Franz couldn't shake off the feeling that there was more to the Count than met the eye. "Why do you help us, Count? What do you want from us?" he asked, his voice tinged with suspicion. The Count's smile was enigmatic, sending a chill through Franz. "All in good time, my young friend. For now, enjoy the adventure you so sought." With those cryptic words, the Count left them to ponder his true intentions and the mysterious island that held secrets yet to be uncovered. Albert and Franz knew their journey had only just begun, and the allure of the unknown beckoned them forward. Sinbad the Sailor. Franz found himself in a dimly lit room, the air heavy with exotic scents and the distant sound of the sea echoing through the walls. The transition from his previous outdoor escapade to this enclosed space was jarring, yet it seemed a fitting backdrop for the encounter that awaited him. The man before him, known to him only as the Sailor, greeted him with a nod, his eyes reflecting a life of untold adventures. "Welcome, young Franz." The Sailor's deep voice broke the silence. "You seek freedom in a world ensnared by its own rules?" Franz, his curiosity kindled, replied, "Indeed." "Your tales of adventure and liberty. How do you find such freedom?" With a knowing chuckle, the Sailor said, "True freedom is living by one's own code. Like the sea, I chart my own course, unbound by any force." Franz, undeterred, questioned further, "And justice? In a world where might often overshadows right, how do you ensure it serves the common will?" "Justice is found not in the edicts of rulers, but in the deeds of those brave enough to correct injustices. my voyages have made me both arbiter and enforcer, finding true justice in the equilibrium of compassion and consequence." Their dialogue delved deeper into the night, with the sailor sharing tales of fantastical beasts, hidden riches, and realms beyond the known. Franz listened intently, each story broadening his horizons and igniting a yearning for the unknown. As the first light of dawn crept in, the sailor presented Franz with a token, a curved dagger, its handle wrought with care. "This is a symbol of life's journey, and you are its navigator. May it remind you to seek your own fortunes, whatever they may be." Holding the gift, Franz felt a newfound resolve. The encounter had transformed into a summons to adventure, an invitation to forge his own destiny, and embrace a life extraordinary. With the day's first rays, Franz bid the sailor farewell, his spirit buoyed by potential and his thoughts adrift in the boundless seas of existence. Carnival abduction. The Roman carnival was a spectacle of delight, with Albert and Franz immersed in the celebration. As night fell, the revelry was at its zenith, when suddenly, Albert was gone, spirited away by unseen figures. In a nondescript location, Albert found himself face to face with Luigi Vampa, who treated him with an odd respect. "You are our guest," Vampa declared. "Someone will surely come for you." In time, Albert was reunited with Franz, courtesy of a mysterious benefactor. Vampa, with a respectful nod, assured them, "There's been a misunderstanding. You are free to leave." With a newfound appreciation for the enigmatic figure who orchestrated his release, Albert rejoined Franz. They departed, their bond strengthened by the ordeal, their curiosity about their benefactor piqued. The adventure was over, but the intrigue surrounding their savior lingered. Entry into Parisian society. Albert and Franz, fresh from their travels, were keen to showcase the Count of Monte Cristo's enigmatic charm to Parisian high society. The Count, a man shrouded in mystery with stories of far-off lands, was sure to captivate their circles. At the Morcerf's grand ball, the Count mingled effortlessly, his interactions with the guests sparking curiosity and intrigue. "Who is this Count?" a young debutante whispered, captivated by his demeanor. "He's said to be immensely wealthy," her companion, a young officer, murmured back. The Count meanwhile engaged Madame Danglars in conversation, complimenting her on the evening's splendor. She, taken by his charm, expressed the guests' collective desire to uncover the man behind the mystery. "All in due course, madame," the Count assured her with a smile that promised more than it revealed. His conversations throughout the night hinted at a man with a purpose, as he skillfully navigated discussions of art, politics, and adventure, leaving a trail of fascination in his wake. A new figure caught the Count's attention, a mysterious woman whose gaze lingered longer than most. She moved with grace, her presence adding a new layer to the evening's dynamics. As the night progressed, the Count's allure grew, but so did the questions about his true intentions. Albert and Franz looked on, unaware that the Count's integration into their world was the beginning of an intricate scheme that would upend their reality. The Count of Monte Cristo had indeed arrived, and his presence foretold a series of events that would leave an indelible mark on Parisian society. The stage was set, and the game was afoot. The web of intrigue. In the heart of Paris, within the opulent walls of the Danglars mansion, a grand ball was underway. The Count of Monte Cristo, a man shrouded in mystery and wealth, had become the talk of the town, and everyone was eager to make his acquaintance. As the guests mingled, the Count's sharp eyes surveyed the room, taking in the faces of the influential and the powerful. He was not just there to socialize. He was there with a purpose that only he knew. Baron Danglars approached with a glass of champagne in hand. "Down low. I know." "Count, what a pleasure to see you here," he exclaimed. "How do you find our Parisian society?" The Count smiled enigmatically. "It is a fascinating tapestry of ambition and desire, Baron. One finds it quite enlightening." The evening progressed with the Count's charm and wit drawing in more guests. He danced with the ladies, engaged in intellectual debates with the gentlemen, and all the while, his presence alone was enough to stir the curiosity of many. The night continued, with the Count moving through the crowd, a silent observer to the unfolding events. His interactions were brief, but each one was a step in a larger plan that he had set into motion long ago. Secrets of the past. Bertuccio sat across from the Count of Monte Cristo, his countenance somber. "My lord," he began, "a child's life once lay in my hands, an innocent left to perish. It was Benedetto, and in saving him, I found a son." The Count listened intently, his presence a silent support. "And this act of mercy," he inquired, "how did it come to pass?" "In seeking justice for wrongs done to my family, I crossed paths with Villefort, the king's attorney. It was then I discovered Benedetto, abandoned, and chose to protect him," Bertuccio explained. The Count stood, his actions speaking volumes of his understanding. "Your tale weaves both shadow and light, Bertuccio. It is a reflection of life's intricate dance between retribution and grace." Gratitude flickered in Bertuccio's eyes. "I am indebted to you for hearing my story." As the Count departed, the room's shadows seemed to whisper of the schemes that lay ahead, the intricate web of vengeance that would soon ensnare its prey. Bertuccio remained, the candlelight casting a glow on his face, a silent promise of the role he was yet to play in the unfolding drama. The unfolding scheme. In the bustling heart of Paris, within the grand walls of the Count of Monte Cristo's luxurious estate, a gathering of the city's most illustrious figures was underway. The Count, a man of enigmatic charm and unfathomable wealth, had extended his invitation to the crème de la crème of society, and they had arrived in droves, eager to witness the allure of the mysterious nobleman. As the guests mingled, sipping on fine wines and exchanging pleasantries, the Count's keen eyes surveyed the room, each face a mask hiding secrets and sins he was all too familiar with. Albert de Morcerf was among the crowd, unaware of the undercurrents of danger that flowed beneath the surface of the glittering soirée. "Count, your generosity knows no bounds," Albert exclaimed, approaching the host with a glass of champagne in hand. "Paris has never seen such splendor." The Count offered a thin smile, one that did not quite reach his eyes. In the corner of the room, Bertuccio, the Count's loyal servant, exchanged a knowing glance with his master. His thoughts drifted to the past, to the dark deeds that had bound him to the Count, and to the child Benedetto, whose fate was entwined with their own. Benedetto, now a man, had been carefully positioned by the Count as a pawn in the grand scheme, a scheme that was slowly unraveling before the eyes of Paris. As the evening wore on, the Count orchestrated the events with the precision of a maestro, each guest playing their part in his symphony of retribution. Danglars, Villefort, and Fernand, all architects of the Count's former misery, found themselves entrapped in a dance of their own making, their steps faltering as the music of their doom grew louder. The guests were captivated by the Count, who stood before them not just as a benefactor, but as an avenger. His dual nature, both merciful and merciless, was laid bare for all to see, and as the night drew to a close, the seeds of his vengeance had taken root, promising to bloom into a harvest of chaos and retribution. Vengeance and mercy. In the grand salon of the Parisian mansion, Albert de Morcerf paced, his thoughts a whirlwind of recent revelations. Franz d'Épinay watched his friend with a steady gaze, both men grappling with the complexities of their benefactor's actions. "Franz," The depth of his deception is profound," Albert said, his voice tinged with a mix of respect and trepidation. Franz nodded. "Indeed, it's a narrative that surpasses fiction, but his motives remain shrouded in mystery." Albert halted, turning to Franz. The tales of betrayal, the years lost, his quest for justice has been unwavering. Franz pondered the consequences. Yet the path of retribution has left many in its wake. Albert's expression softened. "True, but consider his unexpected clemency. There's more to his character than vengeance alone." As they conversed, a young girl, previously unseen, emerged from the shadows, a living testament to the Count's secret benevolence. "Gentlemen," she said, her voice a gentle echo of the Count's own, "he has shared with me his tale, and I am here to convey his future intentions." Albert and Franz listened as she spoke of the Count's desire for tranquility, for himself and those he had aided. His mission of vengeance had concluded, and now he sought atonement and solace. "So, what now?" Albert asked, his gaze fixed on the girl, who bore an uncanny resemblance to the Count. She replied with a serene smile. "He departs on a new voyage, one of healing and forgiveness. His legacy is not solely one of retribution, but of redemption, a narrative that will endure through time." As she retreated into the fading light, Albert and Franz were left to reflect on the enigma of the Count. They understood now that he was a man of profound duality, his pursuit of justice as intricate as it was fervent. The chapter concluded not with the finality of vengeance, but with the promise of renewal, as the Count's journey from darkness to light, from avenger to healer, became a legend to echo through the ages.